School is back for so many across the state. And you know what else is? Triple-digit temperatures. Thanks for joining us tonight. I am Rolly Hoyt.
You sound way too excited about that.
I'm here to bring it to you, folks.
And I'm Brooke Buckner. Things are heating up once again. And so for more on the forecast, let's bring in meteorologist Nathan Scott.
Big, he's smiling.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could say that Mother Nature is going for extra credit because the high today was 102 at the Little Rock Airport, and that is the ninth time we have seen the temperatures reach the triple digits, and more is to come. In fact, the heat is going to get worse as we go into the weekend. Right now, even as of 6 o'clock, it's still 101 in Little Rock, 100 in Conway, 98 in Arkadelphia, 99 in Stuttgart, and 99 in Clinton. The dew points, they were into the low to mid 70s this morning. Now they've dropped down into the 60s in most locations because we've had that breeze and also some drier air mixing its way from aloft down to the surface. Your heat index right now pretty much into the low triple digits. It's 107 in Arkadelphia, 106 is what it feels like in Jonesboro. And East Arkansas, that's where the extreme heat warnings are in effect. The rest of the state is under a heat advisory all the way through Friday, and most likely this will continue into the weekend as well. The reason for the extreme heat warning is because there's still some locations that may see heat index values climb to 110 or higher than that, but I think most of us will stay just below that 110 threshold. Temperatures tonight, no relief there, only dropping down into the upper 70s, low 80s, and tomorrow back into the low triple digits. This is a prolonged heat wave. I'll let you know how long it could last and if there's any chance of rain over the next 7 days coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. New tonight at 6, the longtime advocates for elections and voting, the League of Women's Voters, is taking a political position. They want Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders to bring the National Guard troops sent to D.C. late last year home. In a letter, they expressed concerns about the military presence, saying people there in the district deserve more say over their local government. The governor here, though, however, says they are there to help with crime and will continue to do so until at least January of 2029. Meanwhile, as some Little Rock tenants face evictions, protesters gathered in Sheridan demanding answers from federal housing officials who they say are responsible. They're asking the Department of Housing and Urban Development to sign off on an agreement with the city of Little Rock that'll unlock funds to a troubled rental assistance program. The group says they believe the city is willing to help, but they can't do so unless the Trump administration signs a waiver.
A waiver needs to be signed so we can stop this, and it needs to be done soon. People are being evicted, like myself, and it's not okay.
About 200 people participate in this specific program. So far this year, there have been more than 2,700 evictions filed in Pulaski County Circuit Court for any reason.
Developing tonight, a national hospital review shows nearly a third of rural hospitals in the country are at risk of closing. But here in Arkansas, that number climbs to nearly 70%. That's 32 hospitals to be exact, with 9 facing an immediate risk. The concern for maternal health care also exists for 5 Arkansas counties, according to a new report. It lists Madison, Crawford, Franklin, Logan, and Scott counties as maternity care deserts. That means mothers in those areas have to travel for pregnancy and delivery care. Doctors say telemedicine can help with some prenatal visits, but in-person care remains critical.
This is really worrisome because families should get high-quality care regardless of where they live in this country. Your zip code should not determine the care that you get, and yet we know that it does in this country. And the trend is currently that things are getting worse, not better.
Dr. Hadland there says cuts to Medicaid and federal health funding could put even more pressure on rural hospitals and clinics.
Tragic case of a kid getting their hands on a gun last month has emphasized the need for firearm safety, especially among those who aren't supposed to handle them.
THV 11's Carter Thweet shows us how a new partnership could help police and families in Central Arkansas accomplish just that.
Captain Chris Amling of the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office has dealt with this before.
Recently in the northern part of Pulaski County, an incident happened where a 6-year-old child was shot in the abdomen by another child who was trying to retrieve an unlocked and unsecured firearm from him.
It's why the Little Rock Mayor, Fire, and Police Departments, as well as the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office, all met here Wednesday to discuss a partnership that they say could save lives.
It could be our youth, It could even be adults who actually see a gun just laying around and do not know how to utilize it, and then ultimately will kill themselves. And I hate to be that dark, but that's what we're talking about at this point in time.
They're partnering with Project Child Safe, which provides gun safety kits, including educational materials and a free gun lock. Wednesday's event included a demonstration.
The lock is threaded through the loading port and the ejection port
Of what gun owners in Central Arkansas can get for free.
These locks and materials are available to anyone who wants them, without any questions being asked, and will continue to be available in the community moving forward.
Owner of the Arkansas Armory, Nathan House, says he's for it.
I'm glad that they're distributing for free. We also distribute gun locks for free at our shop. Many of those have been provided in the past through Project Child Safe or other organizations.
Stop by tomorrow and grab one for as many guns as you have. We'll give them out until we don't have any more.
In Little Rock, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Carter. That event that Captain Ameling mentioned to get a free gun lock will be tomorrow at the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office on South Woodrow from 3:30 to 5:30. And as kids head back to school, the Bell to Bell No Cell Act is once again front and center, looking to help students be more engaged in the classroom. This despite a new report from the National Bureau of Economic Research that suggests taking phones away doesn't necessarily lead to immediate improvements. It found in schools with mandated lockable phone pouches, there wasn't much change in test scores, attendance, or reported classroom attention.
They're interacting with each other. They're just building relationships that they didn't build before. We have kids bringing board games up to the school. We have rounds of Uno being played at the lunch table.
We saw more personal connections during lunch. We saw more engagement in the classroom.
The Institute of Education Sciences also did a study on cell phone use during the 2025 school year. They found that 77% of all schools now have policies prohibiting them, while 12% of schools allow teachers to decide, and 5% have a policy allowing them during classes. 6% of schools had no official policy.
Speaking of back to school, we are continuing our coverage of districts returning to class this week. Today, the big day in Benton. They returned for their first day. The suburban Saline County district received an A rating from the State Department of Education last year, and now this time around, district leaders say the goal is to build on that momentum.
We have an excellent community that really supports our schools and has pride in our schools. And then we've always just kind of had a culture of we're going to set really high expectations, not just of our staff, but also our kids. We've just always found that when you hold people to high expectations, they always rise and meet that.
And with the state's first Buc-ee's set to open just down the street from two of those district schools, transportation leaders met today as they discussed potential changes to traffic patterns and bus routes, preparing for that new development.
Still to come here at 6, a new food pantry to help address food insecurity in Saline County.
That and the latest updates on produce as another recall fires across the board you need to know about.
And here's the heat risk map over the next few days. Watch the purple continue to buy up more real estate as we go through the weekend. That means we're talking about dangerous heat sticking around. In fact, this is going to be the worst heat that we've had to endure so far this season. I'll let you know how high the mercury will climb and also have more on the peak of the Percy meteor shower coming up.